Welcome to the second episode in the series of Introduction to Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. In this video, we will understand the meaning of principle of reunification. The reunification is the realization of oneness of Jivatma with Paramatma. Paramatma, which is the cosmic consciousness or the highest spirit, which inhabits the cranium at a psychic center known as the Sahasrara Chakra. When the Jivatma or individual consciousness residing in the heart cavity unites with Mahashakti, the highest energy which inhabits the cavity at the base of the spine known as the Muladhara Chakra, it sets the ground or foundation for this reunification. It is Mahashakti who sets the wheel of creation into motion at the behest of consciousness. Her physical form is that of a coiled serpent, thus she is known as Kundalini. When she unites with the individual consciousness in the region of Anahat Chakra, the resulting explosion completely overrides the electromagnetic circuits of the brain and total illumination occurs. In the Sahasrara Chakra, the abode of Shiva, which has been described as a 1,000-petaled lotus. When the matter that constitutes man explodes, an enormous inner detonation occurs, and immense heat is generated. This inner fire purifies the physical matter to such a degree that it liberates the inherent energy or Shakti, which in turn frees the consciousness from its clutches. The equation is thus matter into energy into consciousness and vice versa. The resulting experience of this energy conversion was so subtle that the yogis were speechless and had no words to convey it. When asked to describe their experience, all they could say was neti neti, which means not this, not this. The highest spiritual state cannot be described, explained, or understood. It can only be experienced. Whatever one may say about that experience, the words fall short. Something remains unsaid because there are no words in our vocabulary to describe that spiritual reality. The yogis call it light, and they were not wrong, but it was more than that. They also called it Sat Chit Anand or Satyam Shivam Sundaram, which means truth, consciousness, and bliss. However, these remain just words until we transform ourselves and attain that experience. Therefore, the aim of human life is not mere intellectual understanding of these sublime truths, but to expand the frontiers of the mind and liberate the energy in order to have the experience of that supreme consciousness. The source from which all matter has evolved is consciousness. The body is gross matter, the mind is subtle matter, and each vibrates with energy. However, on account of their mundane state, the potential to experience that pure consciousness from which they have evolved is lost. Now let us understand what is the meaning of the word sadhana. In order to liberate the mind from the clutches of matter and turn towards the effulgence of spirit, Tantra lays great emphasis on sadhana or practice. Sadhana is a process of internal refinement which allows man to move towards perfection. What exactly does sadhana refine? Does this process refine just the body, or does it extend beyond the body as well? What is the level of perfection that can be attained through sadhana? What is the level of perception of a person who attains this perfection? These are some of the questions that Vigyan Bhairav Tantra answers. But these answers are not explained. They are provided through a set of practices which lead you to the answer. Each of these practices is complete in itself. One practice does not necessarily lead to another. Each is independent and at times even completely different to the preceding or following practice. Often they complement each other, but never do they contradict each other. It has been the experience of all who have practiced sadhana in its pure form that this refinement takes place on several levels. Even on the physical level, there are many degrees of refinement. What can be said of the mental and supramental levels of perfection? The sadhanas prescribed by Tantra are said to bestow the three qualities of omnipotence: the power to do all, omnipresence, the power to be everywhere, and omniscience, the power to know all. These are the qualities of that highest reality. Tantra says that these qualities are attained only when the inner awareness is streamlined and refined. Every form of life is continuously refining itself and moving towards perfection. Sadhana is a way of hastening this process and ensuring that it takes place in a controlled manner. The basis of sadhana is abhyas, which means regular and uninterrupted practice. If sadhana is interrupted for any reason, it has to be commenced right from the beginning and not where you left off. This is because the area that you're trying to reach through sadhana is beyond your control. It does not listen to your mind or intellect. How you are going to interact with that which is beyond you? The interaction is only possible through abhyas. Remember, practice makes perfect. Just as you master material knowledge, which is also called as aparavidya, through constant practice, in the same way, paravidya or transcendental knowledge is mastered through constant, unbroken practice. The principle is the same, although the subjects differ. Tantra is a unique philosophy. After realizing the principles for achieving this experience, the founders of Tantra applied them to every facet of man's personality and explored means and ways to make this sacred knowledge applicable to all who wished to tread the inner path. No matter what kind of person you are, whether you are sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic, Tantra offers a way to bring you closer to enlightenment. This is the uniqueness of Tantra. It never seeks to reform. Instead, it says, there is a path for you, whether you are a saint or sinner, religious or atheist, enlightened or ignorant, sensual or abstemious, emotional or intellectual, attached or detached. Even if you are in the clutches of anger, jealousy, hatred, delusion, doubt, or hypocrisy, do not wait for the day when you conquer these qualities, but start where you are. Utilize these very same forces that cause you agony to raise your awareness. No other philosophy in the world has ever said this. Other systems say that in order to tread the path, the spiritual path, you have to be good, kind, noble, merciful, disciplined, religious, and so on. Only then can you be inducted into the path that leads to enlightenment. Tantra says the opposite. It accepts you as you are and does not ask you to do the impossible. Can the average person conquer anger, jealousy, and hatred? No, but all the religions ask you to do so. In this way, your entire life passes trying to overcome your base nature, and ultimately, you are left floundering due to your inability to accomplish that. Tantra claims that the whole universe is based on the principles of duality. These dual principles of night and day, sun and moon, love and hate, cruelty and compassion, heat and cold, birth and death are as old as creation itself. One cannot exist without the other. Would it then be correct to deny one and accept the other, to suppress one, express the other, to defame one and glorify the other? Anger is just as much a part of you as love. They are both intimate facets of your personality. How can you ignore either of them? Tantra does not advocate suppression either, as it leads to severe abnormalities and mental illness. If society today is ailing, it is on account of the suppression imposed on man by his environment. To create a healthy society, man should not suppress the base instincts. Rather, he should transform them by becoming aware of himself. Tantra asks you to awaken the seer within. Human beings alone have the potential to do this. All other forms of life are governed by instinct. It is humans who have the capacity to perform an act and simultaneously know that they are doing so. Thank you for watching the video. Do like this video if you have gained some important knowledge, and do subscribe to my channel. Thank you.